Joe Biden was recently giving a speech in Oregon to some Democrats, and he uttered some remarks that I thought were pretty telling, and I want to show you them and then I want to discuss them very briefly.
Anything's possible in America. Anything's possible. And that's what we're going to do today. Do what we are capable of doing. Stop feeling sorry for ourselves. Get the hell up and take this country back in a way that we lead the world again, because we can do it. We're on the way to doing it. And with the help of your delegation, we're going to get it done. I mean it. There's nothing beyond our capacity. God bless you all, and may God protect our troops. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Wow. Hopefully you feel the same way I feel after watching that. And I feel confused. I feel a little confused, but I think I understand what he's saying, although he's not really saying it. And what struck me the most there are the two specific remarks. One, the stop feeling sorry for ourselves. And the second one was we need to take back the country. Okay, last time I checked, the Democratic Party is in control of the White House. Joe Biden is a Democrat, and he is indeed the president. They have the Senate, although by a slim margin, nevertheless they have it. And they also have the House of Representatives. They control Washington. Like, what do you mean we need to take back the country? They did. What are they doing with it? And he also says we have to stop feeling sorry for ourselves. You know, this is extremely telling because it shows you that they do understand what's going on. Joe Biden understands what's happening, and they see the general shift in which has overtaken this country and has been overtaking this country and only got accelerated ever since he got voted into office. And the only people that they can blame for this are themselves, for their inaction, for their lack of pursuing popular policy and legislation that would otherwise do political benefits for them. I don't really think we need to reopen old wounds. I think it's pretty much a set conclusion at this point. They're not going to do anything to materially improve the lives of the American people to any substantial level. And we're seeing that. In that video that I just played you, it seems like he's come to reckon with the fact that they've completely fumbled their way through his entire presidential tenure up until this point. But it doesn't seem like they're going to change course, and they're not going to change course because they can't. They can't. This is the result of having political leaders who are bought and owned by corporations, and they have to do the bidding of those corporations. And the most they can do is come out and bemoan and complain and say things like we can't keep feeling sorry for ourselves and we have to take the country back, and give these big bloviating speeches while saying a lot but doing absolutely nothing. That's essentially what this was. And to this sentiment that I spoke of earlier that I want to elaborate upon a bit further before I end this, look, man, it's pretty much a set conclusion that, you know, they say it's going to be Donald Trump, and the polls are showing us that Donald Trump will beat Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, and anybody else the Democrats fling out to run against him. But honestly, I'm convinced at this point, damn near any Republican competitor, whether it's DeSantis or whoever the fuck they want to run, would beat the Democratic candidate. And it's just of course, it's of course another pendulum swing, another oscillation, another shift in American politics, because we only have two parties to choose from, and both parties, especially today, are so much more difficult to discern the differences between the two. And it looks like we're heading for another oscillation. It happens every 4 to 8 years of the people going to one party to the next, only to find out that their situations don't get any much better. They only get worse. And it happens every 4 to 8 years. And we're on another pendulum swing as we speak. And Joe Biden, and they recognize that the country opinions are changing. Joe Biden's approval rating is lower than Trump's was at his lowest. And these are all problems that they refuse to reckon with. You know, I saw on the news the other day, more millions of dollars are being shifted to Ukraine, into Ukraine to fuel the war efforts. And Joe Biden is saying things like, we need to have this constant flow of weapons. And notice how quickly they're ready to shift weapons into Ukraine. They've openly admitted They have no idea where these weapons are going. They don't know who's going to end up handling these weapons. Is it going to be the Nazis, or is it going to be the quote unquote freedom fighters for Ukraine? They have no idea. I want to read you a quote from President Joe Biden. Every American taxpayer, every member of our armed forces can be proud of the fact that our country's generosity and the skill and service of our military helped arm and repel Russia's aggression on Ukraine, to beat back Putin's savagery that tried to seize Ukraine's capital and wipe out Ukraine's government. That's amazing. First of all, if you've even encountered a little bit of counter evidence that show you that what he's outlining as Putin's aims isn't true at all. I mean, there's much evidence to the contrary, but I don't want to harp on that for too long. But look at what he's doing. He's presenting to the American people that have suffered 2 years of economic downturn, 2 years of COVID virus, pandemic, death. Now they're in inflation, and the economic warfare waged against Russia and the enemies that the U.S. dictate to be enemies, allies of Russia and China and what have you, is worsening this inflation. People are starving across the country. The sentiment is that they don't like you, they want you gone, and the best you have to offer is, well, look, we're giving money to Ukraine. You should be happy because we're arming neo-Nazis and Russia is taking a beating. I mean, it's marvelous, marvelous. And that's what they can run on in the next election, because they have absolutely nothing else to run on. But anyway, I thought that video was pretty interesting. It seems like they understand how much trouble they are in, and boy, is it a lot.